Lima, hold short, runway 25 sequence. Hold short, hold short. Please with the call sign and the runway 25 left, settle in. But 841, I know it's you, but use your call sign and the runway 25 left, settle in.
Hello everyone, I am Plane Jockey Kevin back here at Imperial Hill. A little unexpected show here today on a Wednesday evening here in the Southland. Wednesday evening, Kevin says. Well, does that mean we got some Nighthawk action? We do have some Nighthawk action. We don't have the Nighthawk graphics, so to speak, but we got some nighttime action. And some of you guys might be wondering why exactly, Kevin. Let me turn down everything here so you can actually hear me. Some of you guys might be asking exactly why, Kevin, are you at an Imperial Hill for some Nighthawk action here on a Wednesday evening? Why, Kevin? This is not you, Kevin. What's going on here? Yesterday in San Diego, we had a little bit of a hiccup. I thought I saw something. I thought I saw something early on in the broadcast, and turns out I was right. You know, I got that eagle eye. I can see things, and I was right. When I got home, there was a little stuttering issue with the camera on Ed. We had just updated Ed yesterday morning, and apparently, well, I don't know if they're blaming the camera. They're blaming that camera. They're not blaming the update. That's them. I don't know what to say about that. But I am in communication with the manufacturer of Ed. They think it's the camera. I think it's the update. So I said, well, the only way we're going to get to resolve this is to take out a different camera. So I'm taking out Nighthawk here tonight, and we'll see if there's any stuttering issues. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but I got to prove them wrong, right? So here we go. Everyone could benefit from this extra broadcast. All right. Good to have you. Sit back, relax. Start with a heavy takeoff on that 25 at right. Taking off, that was United Airlines Flight 923, heading to London Heathrow on a 10-year-old 787-9 Dreamliner. On the north side, we do have KLM and the KLM 100 years livery, heading back to Amsterdam at a 787-10 Dreamliner. On on the Pan Airways heading back to Tokyo Haneda. That plane that you see backing up there, backing up, backing up, backing up. We'll stay here on the south side as that tail heads to the west towards the ocean on the Pan Airways. Flight 125, a 787-9 Dreamliner. Also at British Airways, Flight 280, heading back to London Heathrow at a 777-300ER. That's there in the alleyway. Yes, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm your Plane Jockey Kevin. It is indeed a Wednesday evening show. There will be some nighttime action. Mons, how we doing on the stuttering? Is there any stuttering? Flight 103, the Dreamliner coming in from Seoul, just landing there on the north side.
Exit to the right, and then at Juliet, hold short up runway 25 right. Juliet, hold short 25 right, farmers at 1526.
Making that left-hand turn onto taxiway Lima. Oh, so there still is some stuttering. Okay, well, I can tell you right now, I'm looking at the replay on the cell phone, and I'm not seeing what I saw yesterday. Definitely not what I saw yesterday. Hi. Oh, thank you. Excellent. Excellent. I mean, I would assume you have the 24/7 live streams. Yeah. Yeah, those are up at the H Hotel. Uh-huh. Excellent. Well, what's your name? Charlie, nice to meet you. There's some stickers for you. You're welcome. Nice to meet you. United Airlines in the future is SAF livery coming in from Shanghai, 787-9 Dreamliner. I guess the real question is this stuttering like an internet stutter, or is it a frame rate stutter? I don't know if anybody knows the difference.
United 564, taxi hotel to Juliet and hold short at runway 25 right.
Internet stuttering is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for camera stutter. Camera stutter. Oh, it was an internet thing? Oh. Internet was not part of the updates. Nice, this Dreamliner coming in from Shanghai. We'll be heading over there to Terminal 7. Let's head to our next takeoff here. Starting its taxi, we'll head down to 25 right. The flight taking off was Alaska Airlines Flight 1167 heading to Portland at a 737 MAX 8.
American 1526, California, Cuban, and Juliet, running on 175. This is 25 right, over Juliet and 21.
Also just had the French B coming in from Paris, Orly, the A350-900. ANA continues its taxi down to 25 right. Should be seeing British Airways doing the exact exact same thing here shortly.
UPS 2900 Heavy Los Angeles, 124014, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Beautiful French B, touching down here on the south side, 25 left. We'll be heading over there to the west gates.
UPS 2900 Heavy, first going final. Freeway the heavy Lima cross runway 25 right. Taxi Lima short Kilo 1.
Roger, Lima with cross runway 25 right. Taxi via Lima, hold short of Kilo 1, French B 93 Lima heavy.
All right, French B will cross over 25 right, head to the west gates. Also have a Norse Dreamliner now pushing back from the west gates. We do have a DHL Airline 777 freighter heading to Seattle, all ducked out in the ketchup and mustard livery. Going to be taken off here on the south side.
And FedEx 3736 Heavy, if able, safe flight conditions. Thank you. 393 Lima Heavy. Contact City Ramp. Contact the City Ramp.
City Ramp, thank you. Have a good night.
From 111 motorway, left side of Alpha 7, traffic.
Let's head to the north side. We do have an A380 about to touchdown on 24 right. Asiana flight 204. Coming in from Seoul. Why is it number 8 worldwide tracked? Flight radar 24. Is there something going on?
111, thank you. Turn left on Alpha, contact ground point 75. Okay, left on Alpha, ground point 75.
Speedbird started its taxi. We'll head down to 25 at right.
For 111, just taxi Alpha to Atlantic, monitor ground point 75. Delta 883, LA Tower, your 4.6 control, heavy 760, FedEx Afterway,
This flight coming in from North Bend, Indiana, FlexJet Flight 581, a Challenger 350.
You can put on heavy left there, taxi to the ramp, off the ground point 75.
Airline 1.75, left here, the ramp is good.
French B heading over to Kilo. We'll then head back over to Lima and head into the west gates.
On West Winnipeg, heavy Los Angeles, runway 25 Airline, good way.
On the Pan Airways Flight 125, ANA, heading to Tokyo Haneda 787-9 Dreamliner. Next heavy takeoff here on the south side.
25 heavy, way 23014, honor the doctor, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff. Delta 883, heavy 767, touchdown, heavy Dreamliner, depart, the parallel runway, taxiway takeoff. Roger, 83. LA Tower number 2 and 23013 and 25 left, settle in.
Looks like a FedEx 767 touching down here on the south side.
36 heavy left at Alpha 8, left on Alpha, taxi to the ramp.
And we'll turn off at Alpha 8.
Alpha 8, Alpha to the ramp, 100 ground, 0.75.
Speedbird continuing it down at taxiway Bravo, heading down to 25 right. All right, A&A now rolling down at 25 right. The flight heading to Tokyo Haneda, the 787-9 at Dreamliner.
Los Angeles, down level 25 left, clear to land. Runway 25 right. Call upon 125 heavy, contact Tokyo departure. So that is your bird going info on through 583. 883, next right turn.
So got that Flexjet waiting to cross over to 25 right.
Cross 25 left, left on, point to 581. Delta 883, taxi Hotel to Lima, hold short about like 25 right. Hotel to Lima, short of 25 right, Delta 883. United at 212 like that, with 23014, caution wait short, I'm front of the doctor, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff. Delta 581, thank you, be checking with Channel 0.75, have a good night. Remember, Alpha, have a good day. Heavy, turn right on Foxtrot, hold short, runway 25 left. Go right on Foxtrot, then hold short, 25 left, then hold 25 left.
Got the Korean Air Queen pushing back. Of course, this Queen won't take off until later this evening after 11 p.m. for Korean Air flights 1-2. Originally, that was flight 11 coming in from Seoul. Jonathan, gifting one Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Jonathan. 14, Sarah, the real deal with a $4 super chat. Good to see you, Sarah. Braden becoming a silver member here today. Thank you so much, Braden. And our friend Nancy, Nanny Needles, gifting one Airline Videos Live membership. Thank you so much, Nancy. Juliet cross at 25 right, counting around 0.75.
And Juliet cross 25 right, ground, spur wings 1513.
United A321 Neo heading to Chicago O'Hare, flight 212. Do the DHL box, Aerologic, 777 freighter heading to Seattle, crossing over 25 left. We'll have a departure coming up on 25 right. We'll head to the north side. We do have a Virgin Atlantic, the Dreamliner, coming in from London Heathrow. And a Spirit flight here on the south side.
Heavy, are you ready for departure? And you wanted to depart from your section Foxtrot or full length?
All right, off they go, towing the Korean Air 747-8 Intercontinental. Again, this flight came in at flight 11. will depart later this evening. In the meantime, they take it out there to the west side of LAX. Alright, so we've got the 777 freighter up next, followed by British Airways 777 at 300 ER. Jonathan with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Box heading to Seattle. Asiana, flight 204. A380 Super landing there on the north side. Should be making a left-hand turn onto taxiway Lima here and heading into the gates of Tom Bradley. Speedbird now rolling down to 5 right.
United 475 at Juliet, Bravo 25 right, turn right on Bravo 1.75. Just Juliet.
I think we've seen more heavy action in 15 minutes than we saw in the first hour on Sunday's show. Sometimes with Imperial Hill, you gotta change it up, because some days are the same, and some days when you go live, when you're not expected to go live, is sometimes when you least expect things to happen. So you never know what you're going to see here on a Wednesday night. If I remember, it was a Wednesday night not so long ago, a couple of years ago. Remember that night? Remember that night? A380s reversed ops action here on the south side. Later, Taylor was still in the control tower. The man ran out on the taxiway Kilo. Wow, what a night that was. That was a pop-up stream many years ago. All right, Asiana A380 heading into the gates of Tom Bradley. That was I will say that was probably the craziest night on the channel that we've ever had. It was just one crazy thing after another. Robert Brun gifting 20 Airline Infinity Live memberships. Thank you so much, Robert. Awesome support of the channel. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Me with the $2 super chat. Thanks so much, Me's as well. 2 days in a row. Thank you. Now, you're welcome, but don't forget, next week, Wednesday, Thursday, live streams at SFO. Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, I looked at the weather. Scared me a little bit. It looked like there's going to be some rain overnight between the Tuesday into Wednesday. But at this point, it looks like it's going to be clear by the time that we start our broadcast. Fingers crossed there on Wednesday. But we'll be at SFO next week, Wednesday and Thursday, back-to-back broadcasts for you. Anthony C. gifting 5 Airline videos live at memberships. Thank you so much, Anthony.
2 miles westbound 500, a helicopter over the freeway. They'll see after left side.
Our next takeoff here on the south side is United Express SkyWest Flight 5424 heading to San Luis Obispo. It's an E-Jet. Also have United Airlines Flight 1170 heading to Honolulu. It's a 777-200. Of course, we're going to be seeing the Lufthansa A380 Super pushing back here shortly. Just had a special livery arrive here on the south side. Southwest Airlines and the Maryland 1 livery coming from Albuquerque. A special livery, state flag, still on a 737-700. Of course, I will head up there to Terminal 1 there on the door side. Coming from Mexico City, a 24-year-old 747-400 freighter. Queen on the south, north A380.
Wind 24013.
Quad action on both sides of LAX at the moment. Let's go to the Queen, about to touch down here on the 25 left. Will she go long? Let's see those go long emojis there in the chat. Back up that shot as she hopefully goes long.
Wind 24013.
She is definitely slowing down, probably more than likely an Alpha 8 turnoff. Alpha 7, forget about it. Alpha 7. Well. All right, fine, be that way. I do see 2 other Queens sitting over there, Atlas Air and Coletta Air. Maybe we'll get lucky and see those taken off here in the next few hours. You can hear those tires a mile away. right, we do have another heavy about to take off here on the south side, the 777-200. United flight heading to Honolulu, already rolling down at 25 right. Just touching down here on the south side. Delta Airlines flight 747 coming in from JFK. It's a 767-400ER. Of course, that will head up there to the north side, either Terminal 3 or 2.
Hotel Juliet. Cross 25 right, ground point 75, Delta 747.
Hi. Sure. Oh, I didn't see that. It was 20 minutes ago? Oh. No, I did not see that. Oh. What time is that? It must have been after I arrived here. Yeah, sorry about that. Apparently there was a Captain Water salute. Must have happened right before I got here to Imperial Hill. Legend Shane with a $550 super chat through tip alert. Apologize, it didn't get up there on screen, but Jane, thank you so much, Jane. Awesome support as always. Jane says, thank you for the pop-up stream. Well, my pleasure. Thank you so much for your awesome support as always there, Jane. I gave you guys a reason for the pop-up stream at the beginning of the broadcast, and basically what it is, what's going on here, is that we had a slight stutter issue. It wasn't an internet stutter. It either is a software issue. The manufacturer, Ed's manufacturer, is trying to blame the Panasonic camcorder. Well, apparently we had no problem with the Panasonic camcorder a week prior here in LA. I did update Ed yesterday morning. I do believe that the update probably did something internally. So they're blaming the camera, I'm blaming them, and so I said, well, really honestly, I gotta get to the bottom of this, because we're taking Ed to SFO next week. I need to know, was it the camera or is it a software glitch? I'm still holding on to the software glitch. More than likely Ed's manufacturer will put out an update, but I have to test it. So I had to come out here and test anyway, and I thought, well, you might as well test it going live, right? So here we are. So thank you so much, Shane, for your awesome support. Legend Shane, and thanks everyone for tuning in here today for this pop-up stream. I only gave you a couple hours, if that, notice here today. All right, Speedbird Flight 269, the A380 Super, arriving there on the north side. We'll be heading over there to Tom Bradley. You should be seeing the Lufthansa A380 pushing back. With my eyes, it looked... When I was looking at my phone yesterday, in fact, at the beginning of the broadcast, I asked the mods, do we have a stutter issue? Because it looked like it was stuttering slightly. It wasn't too bad. but I could tell something was weird on my phone, and everyone in the chat said, yeah, it looks great. So I thought, well, it must be my phone, it must be the internet, so I thought nothing of it. When I went back and watched on TV, I could see the stutter issue, and really what it looks like is yesterday we shot in 30 frames a second at 1080, and it looked like it was pushing out 24 frames a second at 1080. So it looked like it was a frame issue, but Ed should have been pushing out 30 no matter what. And like I said, it was working fine the last time we used Ed until I did that update. So today, I've decided to take out the Sony camera. That we're pushing the frame rate back up to 60 frames a second here today. So we're pushing 60. So I wanted to really put it to the test, because if it is a frame rate issue with the other camera, then they need to put an update in the Ed for the Panasonic camcorder. Anyway, we'll figure it all out here. It never ends. My work is never done. So if you don't mind, a friendly reminder to click that like button if you're liking today's broadcast.
Chili code 2 by right, 120 is 175, and you can pay 231.
Yes, there will be some nighttime action, though it will not have the Nighthawk graphics. Just beware. No Nighthawk graphics, but you will have nighttime plane spotting. Mike Reef says, yeah, I'm having a week. It's been a hard week, but AVL just makes it better. Well, I'm here for you, Mike. I know those weeks. I think a lot of people are having those weeks every week. Tomorrow night I'll be watching Thursday Night Football. Arizona Cardinals. I used to be a big Arizona Cardinals football fan back in the day. So it'll be fun to watch them. Got to watch the Lions on Monday. Got to watch the Cardinals on Thursday. Jackie Culver with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jackie. Says, well, it's official. My son Ethan got engaged today in Tuscany, Italy, and a bonus stream. Wow, what a day. Thank you, Kevin, and all the awesome mods. Well, congratulations. How awesome is that? Hope that they're having a wonderful time. I'm sure they are. China Airlines cargo flight 5161 heading to Taipei. It's a 777. Your freighter will be heading over to the 25s here shortly. Lufthansa King now pushing back. Flight 453 heading back to Munich, and that A380 Super will be heading up there to the north side.
3756, taxi hotel to Juliet.
Hotel Juliet, cross runway 25 right, ground 75, Southwest 3756.
Airborne 352, LA Tower at Quebec, cross runway 25 right, hold short, runway 25 left.
Airborne 352, cross 25 right, hold short at 25 left.
Yes, there will be nights. Do we call it Nighthawk if we don't actually have the Nighthawk graphics? We do have the camera. We just don't have the official Nighthawk graphics here tonight, but I am set up for some nighttime plane spotting. I do have my lights set up so I can see in the dark.
Los Angeles, take control of the heavy 767, passing right terminal, for 255 cleared line.
Look at this, we've got a little sob coming over here. Don't see turboprops here at LAX too often. Certainly sob.
Dynasty 5161 heavy at Foxtrot, cross runway 25 left, hold short of runway 25
Sob
right.
340. B as in Bravo.
United 2267 at 23011 on at the docker, runway 25 right, full length clear for takeoff.
All right, so we'll come back to that after it crosses over 25 left.
Turkish 9er heavy, exit right, take gate number.
Right gate number 13469.
Turkish 9er heavy, thank you. Airborne 352, cross runway 25 left, TAXI Alpha to Atlantic, contact ground 0.75 as you cross.
There's a KC-130 that just flew over us here.
Turkish 9 heavy at Lima, hold short runway
Let's see if I
25
can
right.
pick it up here.
At Lima, hold short runway 25 right, Turkish 9 heavy.
Dynasty 5161 heavy, runway 25 right at Fox.
Be too far out there now.
United 2267, contact those on departure.
Bottom of that plane. Turkish. Landing here on the south side, flight 9.
5161 heavy on at the docker, runway 25 right at Foxtrot, clear for takeoff.
I'm the docker, runway 25 right, for takeoff, that is 251.
So Turkish flight 9 coming in from Istanbul, the 777 at 300 ER, landing here on the south side. We'll cross over 25 right here shortly. Next takeoff is China Airlines cargo flight 5161 heading to Taipei on the 777 freighter.
Alpha 3527 LA Tower, heavy Airbus red final, heavy 767, hold your position to park side travel. Passenger wait terminal. 23011 and 251 clear line. Turkish 9er heavy at Lima, cross runway 25 right, taxi Lima, hold for the Kilo 1.
Turkish not cleared, crossover 25 right. Next takeoff here on the south side is American Eagle, Sky West flight 6385 heading to Oklahoma City. It's an E-chat. A380 Super heading up there to the north side. We'll take off on the 24 left, Lufthansa flight 453 heading back to Munich. We also just had a A350-900 flight coming in from Paris, flight 291 at Delta Airlines flight 291, almost landing an hour early. Here on the south side at 25 left.
FedEx 1030 LA Tower, heavy at Foxtrot, cross at 25 left, hold short of runway 25 right. Foxtrot, cross 25 left, hold short, 25 right, FedEx 1030 heavy. Delta 291 heavy at Lima, hold short of runway 25 right. Hold short 25 right, Delta 291 heavy. Touch at 563, cross at 25 left, join Alpha, then contact ground point 75.
Not too bad. Arriving an hour early. Flight coming in from Paris.
Yeah, 335, runway 25 right, full length, 148. 25 right, that's right, 6. Delta 291 heavy at Lima, cross runway 25 right, kind of ground point 75. Lima, cross 25 right, ground point 75, no. 341, exit back cross at 25 right, 25 right.
We do have a FedEx 767-300 freighter heading to Burbank. Oh boy, this thing is probably empty. Flight 1030 crossing over 25 left. Looks like it will either get in line on the 25 right or take off on Foxtrot. Should be an early rotation for this 767 coming up. We also have the DHL ABX Air Flight 105 heading to Phoenix, Arizona, converted 767 at 200 ER, also pushing back onto Alpha. At least it will be pushing back here shortly, popping up on the radar. Lufthansa will be making a right-hand turn into Echo.
Southwest 3257, taxi hotel for Lima, hold short runway 25 right.
Also Virgin Atlantic heading back to London Heathrow in a 787-9 at Dreamliner. We'll be taking off there on the north side as well. Airline flight 1301 headed to Seattle in the 737 MAX 9 aircraft just delivered in March of this year. Pretty new. Be the next takeoff here on the south side. Got more corporate jets here on the Alpha. Southwest Select coming in from Vegas in the 737-800. Do you have that FedEx 767-300 freighter flight heading to Burbank? We'll be taking off next. Should be early rotation. Just setting up the 405 freeway. Deborah with an awesome $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Deborah. Says, Kevin, I've been in a hostage situation at work. But always lurking, enjoying the surprise stream. Thanks for all that you do. Well, tell them to release you. I say so. Don't work too hard there, Deborah. Thank you for your awesome support. And Mike Reeve with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. Says, I should tell you a big thank you for today's pop-up stream. Like I said, I've had a hard week. I love what you do, and you're an amazing guy. Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you for what you do. I'm definitely proud of you. Well, I appreciate that, Mike. Trust me, I think we've all had bad weeks. But, you know, when you say you've had a bad week, I get it. And during those bad weeks, all you're looking for is something to take your mind off of what's going horrible. So I'm glad I'm here for you. Thank you, Mike. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in here today. This is a pop-up stream. I gave you about, a couple of hours notice. In fact, I wasn't going to give you any notice here today. So I gave you 2 hours notice, made my way over here. Of course, this is more of a pop-up test stream. I think it's going well. Is it going well? I have no idea until I get home and rewatch it. But thanks, you guys. The sun is going to be setting here in the next 45 to an hour, and then we will have some nighttime plane spotting action here on the south side. So sit back, relax. You don't have to do anything. You just have to sit there and watch, listen to Plane Jockey Kevin just blabble. Blabble. There we do have Lufthansa King getting ready. We'll be at north side at takeoff. Flight 453, then A380 Super. And I didn't post anything on social media. It was kind of a test to see if social media even works. I'm talking about Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter X. I usually give you guys notice, but I thought I'd just test it today to see how many people would show up with just 2 hours notice. All right, the Lufthansa King rolling down to 24 left. Condor now pushing back that A330 Neo.
United 1743, LA Tower, heavy 77702 Mount Donald, Condor Lake Trail, 25 left, clear to land. Clear to land, 5 left, 1745. 1363, I'd like to head at 25 right, line up away.
Line up away, 25 right, United 13.
United 1363, wind 230 at 13, gust to 25, horn out the doctor, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff.
Let's take off 25 right, United 13.
American 3138, I'd like to have the full length, runway 25 right, line up and wing.
Line up away. Runway 25 down the main, getting out 31.
And off she goes, back to Deutschland. Looks like Condor, with its tail to the south, will be heading up there to the north side, unfortunately. Katie with the $10 super chat. Good to see you, Katie. Thank you so much. Just love a surprise stream. It makes working go by much faster. Thank you. Well, anything to make working go by faster, that is certainly a plus. Thank you so much for your awesome support there, Katie.
American 137 heavy at Juliet.
I just had an American at 777 that just touched down here on the south side. American 777 at 200 ER, touching down here on the south side, 25 at left. This flight coming in from London Heathrow, flight 137.
3138, wind 230 at 13, gust 25, horn out the doctor.
Next takeoff is American Airlines flight 3138, heading to SFO at 737-800. Check out those reverse thrusts open. Carefully, you're going to start going backwards. Joshua, the SFO shows are next week, Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, SFO.
American 137 heavy at taxiway Juliet, stop for 25 right, heading off at 75. 137 heavy at Juliet, stop 25 right, 175, and then over 137.
The American 777 will now cross over 25 right, head to Terminal 4.
Skyway 54 down Los Angeles, Skyway 25 miles away. United 1743, cross over 25 right at Juliet, contact ground point 75.
Cross 25 right at Juliet, and Grand United 1743.
Kevin Mothershaw says, I look lonely by myself without Rudy or Rita. Kevin, I'm a loner. I'm a rebel. Takeoff here at the south side is SkyWest 64's 29 heading to Sacramento in the SkyWest liveries, CRJ 700ER. As I said, Condor heading up there to the north side. Speedster D says, rebel with a cause. Yeah, you got that right. Yes, next week, San Francisco, Wednesday, Thursday. So there will be no Tuesday. There will be no Friday show next week. It's back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday shows, SFO next week.
It'll be 61 on Solar Tower, heavy full in position, approach right over Joshua Terminal for 230 L10, that's 25, over 25 left, clear line. 25 left, clear line, okay. 6429, contact clear, part of archery.
Alaska Airlines. Looks like it's heading up there to the north side.
Southwest 1965, taxi Hotel to Juliet, cross-center 25 right.
Actually, it looks like it's being towed, actually. This is the 737 MAX 8. Towing it away. We do that ABX, DHL's converted 767 at 200. Looks like it is... on 25 left. Looks like it's making the turn, so we'll turn. It's turning on to 25 left, so we'll be taking off on 25 left here on the south side. The flight heading to Phoenix. This is the aircraft that was following me everywhere I went.
LAX 105 heavy, 23010, that's 25 on the high curve, and 25 left clear for drag on. 25 left, there you go, high curve, 10.
Alright, we got that converted 767 at DHL, ABX Air heading to Phoenix. We're rolling down at 25 left. First 25 left is the closest runway to our cameras, center microphones. I was going to say, if you like it nice and loud, I don't think this is going to be very loud though. Wasn't too bad. Louder than I expected it to be. Alright, so Condor just made that turn onto Taxiway Echo. They're on the north side. We'll head to 24 left. The flight heading back to Frankfurt. They're in Deutschland wearing the green striped livery, the Green Island livery. Busy times there at Tom Bradley International. We do have Hawaiian Airlines Flight 9. It's an A330. We'll be heading to Honolulu, just pushing back from Terminal 6 with that tail to the west. We'll signal a south side takeoff coming up.
Delta 61, taxi Hotel to Juliet, cross runway 25 right, ground 175. Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, ground 175, Delta 861.
Smoked Pork Chop with a $10 super chat. Thank you, Smoked Pork Chop. Says, does Rubber Chicken make a pop-up appearance as well this evening? No, I left the Rubber Chicken Rubber Chicken is actually, he's in the car. He's in the car. Aren't you, Rubber Chicken? He's behaving himself in the car. We'll bring that out back on Sunday. Rubber Chicken only on Sunday's show. Those are the shows we need the most help with, or I should say the most luck with. Rubber Chicken on Sundays for the Big Sunday show. Thank you, Smoked Pork Chop, for throwing out that question. Where is the Rubber Chicken? LSU fan 95 with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, LSU fans. Is working and lurking. My week just isn't complete without AVL during the week, especially on a Sunday, because you are back. Can't wait for SFO next. San Diego is still my favorite. Go Tigers. God bless. Thank you, LSU fan 95. Yeah, we were in San Diego yesterday.
America 341 at Juliet, 5425 right, final ground 0.75.
Always fun in San Diego. You never know what you're going to see. It was, I will say, probably one of the slowest days in San Diego since we've been going there for live streams. Of course, I keep on saying this. We're just in that funky time of the year. It's after summer vacations. People are not flying as much right now. Of course, things will start picking up as we get closer to the holidays, which is months away. So we're just kind of in that funk of the year. This happens after the first of the year as well. January, February kind of becomes this way. But we always get through it. We always find ways to make it still entertaining. But yesterday in San Diego, that was slow. Condor are going to be taking off on the north side, lining up. Then American Flight 341 coming in from JFK in the A321. Ronald back with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Ronald. Says thanks for the surprise stream. LAX is a great spot for airplane geeks like me. Take the $5 and get the Rubber Chicken's food. Forget about the Rubber Chicken. Kevin's going to need some dinner later. Thank you, Ronald. All right, Hawaii in the A330-200, flight 10. I'm sorry, flight 9 heading to Honolulu. Started its taxi. We'll head down to 25 right. Teresa says the Rubber Chicken sitting in the car will make a barbecue chicken for sure.
Heavy loss of a good afternoon with 230 at 10 on the Q5 bus cleared to land. Cleared to land on the Q5 bus.
Then a Shamrock Aer Lingus A330-300 coming in from Dublin, checking in here on the south side. We'll be arriving soon on 25 left. Alaska flight coming in from Guadalajara, flight 1413 at 737 at max 9. Did I miss Condor? I did miss Condor. See, this is the problem. I don't have Rudy standing next to me yelling at me saying, hey, you're about to miss something. Iberia A350, 900, heading back to Madrid, flight 352, pushing back. That tends to be a south side takeoff. Oh, Linda says, I think we should name the chicken May Barbecue. May barbecue. Where'd you get the May? All right, looking good for a south side takeoff for Iberia, the A350. It won't be long from now, I believe, Halloween night. I think we're already in darkness on Halloween this time of the day. Of course, we'll be here on the south side for Halloween night. Rudy will be with me. It's a Friday this year. Have a lot of fun, as we always do on Halloween night here on AVL. All right, the Hawaiian A330 is going to be our next takeoff here on the south side. Air Lingus next up for arrival. Let's head to Air Lingus.
Code 7079 Los Angeles Tower, heavy Airbus short funnel, heavy Airbus departs to parallel, caution weight, turbulence on a 25 left, clear to land. 25 left, clear to land. Hawaiian 9 heavy LA turn, 25 right, line up and wait.
That's weight 25 right, Hawaiian 9 heavy.
Sounds like we got an open mic. Somebody have an open mic. All right, Hawaiian A330 lining up to 5 right. Turn that down until we figure out whose mic is open. Somebody still has an open mic. Air Lingus will head over there to the west gates. Hawaiian now rolling down to 25 right.
Channel 6 Alpha Echo Heavy, cross runway 25
Crossover 25 right, we'll head to the west gates. Should be seeing the Iberia A350 900 heading down here for a south side takeoff.
Delta 1779, Hotel 9er, Lima, cross runway 25 right, coming down 475.
So Shamrock going to be making a left-hand turn onto taxiway Charlie.
Also heading here to the south side is Volaris Flight 1717
heading back to Guadalajara. It's an A320. Next takeoff at 25 right, Alaska Airlines Flight 1397 heading to Portland at 737-800. Followed by American Airlines Flight 2284 heading to Miami and a 737 at MAX 8. Who do we have in the chat here today? It's Sarah the Real Deal, there in Boston, Reverse Ops Patrick, Ross Chen, good to see you, Ross, Bex, Husada, our legend Shane, Kevin Mothershaw, Stephen Bates, Carol Ann, Nerfintum Carrie, Kazamuza, Chad Hart there in Phoenix, Christina there in Australia, Renat Adele up there at SFO. Renat, you're going to be, am I going to see you next week? Gina M, hello Gina, Michael Fontana, of course our great moms, Allison N, and Bev A, the random spotter Luke, Super 80 Adrian, or Super Mods. All right, Iberia A350-900 making that turn on to taxiway Bravo. Will now head to 25 right. Jonas Anderson, hello Jonas. Brandon Rabbits, Maggie P, Abby C, hello you guys, thanks for tuning in for the unexpected live stream here today. Takeoff is that Alaska flight heading to Portland, flight 1397, 737-800.
Ticket 2284, wind is 21012 on that doctor, runway 25 clear for takeoff.
So we got a lot of travel coming up here in the next week and months. Of course, next week we're taking you back up to SFO Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday and Thursday shows at SFO in about 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now. Of course, we'll have a show on a Wednesday. We take you back to JFK. They're in New York. They're to the TWA Hotel. The shows are planned for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's October 14th, 15th, and 16th. There at JFK, and then early November 9th and 10th, we take you to DFW there in Dallas. Down Bravo, heading to 25 at right. Also have American Airlines Flight 2032 heading to Phoenix in an A321. Should be a beautiful night with sunsets. Coming up to golden hour here. Reed 172 with an awesome $10 super chat. Thanks so much, Reed. This unexpected AVL live stream. Cool, unexpected Nighthawk action. Awesome. Thanks for all that you do. Well, my pleasure, Reed. You know, I've been saying, Reed, I'm going to make an effort this fall and winter time as it will be dark by 4:30 p.m. It will be dark. So right now we're a quarter after 6. 4:30 come November, December, January, it gets darker really early. So we can have Nighthawk action here at Imperial Hill, high atop the H Hotel, the parking garage, even earlier. So we're looking forward to that. This is kind of just again like a test stream, just to make sure Ed is feeling okay. You feeling okay over there, Ed? I don't dare touch you, Ed. Hey, I gotta touch you anyway. All right, so yeah, so much more Nighthawk action this fall and winter from here at an Imperial Hill, the H Hotel, and of course the parking garage there on the north side. Earlier is better for you guys on the East Coast, Gina says. Well, you know, that's why it was really hard to do Nighthawk during the summertime, because it doesn't get dark till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. That's like 1 a.m. I'm sorry, midnight for you guys there on the East Coast. And of course, you guys in Europe, forget about it. You're already in bed. So it makes it really difficult to do Nighthawk in terms of reaching the wider audience during the summertime. So it's going to be much easier as we head into fall and winter. Our next takeoff here on the south side is American Airlines Flight 2032 heading to Phoenix. It's an A321.
17, on the way to Farm Run, right,
Next takeoff is at Polaris, Flight 1717, heading to Guadalajara in A320, followed by Spirit, Flight 1514, heading to Houston, Texas. It's an A320. It'll be followed by that Iberia A350-900. Alaska flight crossing over, coming in from Puerto Vallarta, Alaska Airlines Flight 746, 737-900 ER. Arriving soon on the north side, All Japan Airways Flight 106, coming in from Tokyo Haneda, 787-8 Dreamliner. Also Air France Flight 29, coming in from Papa 8, it's an A350-900, just 11 minutes out, looking like a south side arrival.
25 right line up and away. 25 right line up and away, so it's 1514.
And a friend 757 Chip with the $10 super check. Good to see you, Chip. He's in the chat. Does anybody know something that works? Does anyone know something that works in reverse to Benadryl so that Kevin keeps getting the itch to do more streams? I can tell you right now, Chip, if I ate the Benadryl, I wouldn't be here right now. maybe dozed off in bed. I'm giving you an extra show already, Chip. Maybe it's the gummy bears that are keeping me going.
1514 on outbound, runway 25 right,
So Belarus flight heading to Guadalajara. Next up, Spirit Airlines flight 1514 heading to Houston, Texas. It's an A320, followed by that A350-900. Big news coming out for Spirit yesterday. Not looking good for that airline. Furloughing 1,800 flight attendants. Not looking good at all for Spirit. All right, we do have Iberia heading back to Madrid. Flight 352 with A350-900 now rolling down 25 right. This is American A321. We'll wait for Fort crossing over 25 right.
Spirit 1514, Quebec, clear for departure. American 3276, Juliet, ground point 75. Cross 25 right, Juliet, over ground sky 3451.
Let's head back to the north side on the Pond Airways. The Dreamliner, short funnel for 24 right.
Roundabout activity, I see the speed run.
By the way, it is Wednesday. We do have a Lufthansa A340-300. We'll be heading back to Frankfurt. That is her. You can see her tail there on the north side of Tom Bradley. That tends, and I say tends to take off here on the south side. We'll see if we get lucky. I'm not a very lucky person. Hopefully you guys are.
2767 at Juliet, Bronx, runway 25 right, ground point 7.
Got that Air France A350-900 coming from Papa 8A, running about 15 minutes early, just 5 minutes out. We'll be arriving here on the south side on 25 left. Also, Cargolux Queen, flight 4, coming from Luxembourg, a 747-8, 13 minutes out, running about an hour late here today. Still 13 minutes out. We'll take that hopefully as a go along in about 15 minutes. from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, flight 2767. Just a plain old A321. Loading up SAS, that tends to be a south side takeoff. We'll be heading back to Copenhagen on that A350-900 coming up. And our legend, Shane, gifting 20 Airline Videos Live memberships. Thank you so much, Shane. Awesome support continues from Legend Shane. Thank you so much, Shane. I told Shane we're going to have to retake this photo. Not that that photo is bad. Of course, I said that on Sunday in front of Rudy. I said, Shane, we're going to have to take a new photo, and then we're going to have to Photoshop Rudy back in the photo. I don't think he'd like that. I think we'll just leave that photo. We'll just take a new photo. Just be you and I. Well, you can throw Charlie and Allison and anybody else that's there. Sounds like a deal. Thank you so much, Jane. Mike back with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Mike. Says, I have a question. If you could pick a small or medium airport to plane spot outside of California, where would you go? I would assume you're asking to live stream. Small airport. That's a good question. The smallest airport we've taken you to was St. Martin, there in the Caribbean. That's a really good question there. There's a lot of small airports. I don't know. I was talking about this yesterday. It has to be an airport that has enough action. Ontario, not the biggest airport in the world, certainly not here in Southern California, though it has a lot of cargo action. UPS, Amazon, FedEx have a lot of cargo action, and it only increases every year there in Ontario. So Ontario's smaller airport, that's great for live streaming because of the heavy cargo action. Different in with a super chat. Appreciate that. This is greetings, AVL Kevin. Thanks for the unexpected live stream. Loving the show on the big screen TV. Uh-oh, you got me on the big screen. How do I look? I look a little backlit. That's all right. We got the sun setting over there. I think we're not too far off from the sunset. 6:25. I think in the next 10-15 minutes the sun is going to be setting. Could be a beautiful sunset. There are some high clouds there. We'll definitely focus in on that. Hello, big screen TV. Hopefully we're looking okay. I don't think Rudy doesn't know that I'm live. He just texted me and says, hey, how are you? Rudy, plane spotter, plane jockey, Rudy. He doesn't know I'm live. He just texted me and said, hey, how's it going? Oh, Rudy. That is funny. He doesn't even know I'm live. Doesn't he have his notifications on? I bet you he doesn't. In fact, he drove me to the Prod Burn on Sunday, and he was watching, he had the live stream on, and I looked over, and the like button wasn't punched. I said, Rudy, you didn't even hit the like button on today's stream. How dare you? He punched it. I know, Katie, right? You better turn on his notifications. All right, we just had that Air France A350-900 coming in from Papeete. This will later take off back to Paris. Hey. You look newsy. Yeah? Yeah, you're fine. Yep. Who are you with? Who? Oh, Spectrum. Spectrum News. Never seen it before.
Aircraft 029 Heavy, ground runway 25 right, contact ground 0.75.
Close 25 right at Lima.
Aircraft 029 Heavy,
All right, Air France, coming from Papa Ete, will cross over 25 right, head to the gates of Tom Bradley. I'm sorry, the west gates, Gosh, there's just something about the Air France livery in the A350. So simple. Saw that last Friday, high top the H Hotel, taking off on the 24 left. Boy, she was such a beauty at night. So making a left-hand turn onto Texwood Charlie. Heading into the gates of Tom Bradley. Also pushing back in the EVA Air 777 to 300ER. Originally came in as flight 12. Will be towed over there to the west remote area, LAX. Sounds like someone's printing out a CVS receipt.
Juliet cross runway 25 right, contact ground 0.75.
Got that Cargolux Queen at number 2 for arrival. Cargolux Flight 4 committed from Luxembourg. A 12-year-old 747 to 8. We get those go long emojis ready. We definitely want this Queen to go all the way to Lima. Joni with the $2 Super Jet. Thanks so much, Joni, since you always look okay. Just okay, Joni. All right, wasting the time at taking that EVA Air 777 to 300ER out to the west remote area, LAX. Will be brought back later as flights 1, 2. I'm sorry. That is 12. Flight 10. No, 11. I don't know. Never up that late. I think it's flight 11 heading back to Taipei a bit later in the evening. All right, the Cargolux Queen, the number 2 for arrival here on the south side. Bueno says, "You look marvelous." Thank you, Bueno. Swiss will be heading back to Vienna. I'm sorry, not Vienna. I'm losing my mind here. Jeez. Zurich. The 777-300ER tends to be a south side takeoff, so got quite a few planes sitting there at Tom Bradley that tend to be south side takeoffs. Let's head to the Cargolux Queen, which is the next arrival here on the south side. Flight 4 coming in from Luxembourg. It's a 747-8.
Canada 793 at Juliet, cross over 25 right, ground 0.75.
At Juliet, the cross 25 right and 0.75 Air Canada 793. Tower traffic 67 or 100.
Yeah, City 67, OHI, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Land 25 left.
Monster 3114, heavy launch down to Foxtrot, cross runway 25 left, runway 25 right at Foxtrot, line up and away.
All right, come on, go long.
Cross runway 25 left at Foxtrot, runway 25 right, line up and away. Master 3114.
Looking okay, as long as they don't slam on the brakes right now. Alpha 8. These pilots have been here before.
Number 4 heavy, turn left there, turn left down, cutting around 0.75.
Ground 1175.
If we could just get rid of this Aeromexico cargo building, we'd be all set, wouldn't we? How old is that building? When's the last time it got checked? All right, we're doing Moss Air Cargo at 330, going to be taking off on the 25 right. I believe it's heading back to Mexico City. It's converted A330-200, flight 3114. I think that was the inbound flight number. All right, we do have the Lufthansa A340-300. Come on, Lufthansa, head here to the south side. Let's see that tail point the opposite direction. Not looking good. All right, Moss Air Cargo already rolling down at 25 right. We have had our decent share of heavy takeoffs and arrivals here on the south side here today. Again, that is Lufthansa Flight 451, the A340-300, 23 years of age, heading back to Frankfurt. With that tail pointing toward us here to the south side, looks like we'll be heading up there to the north side. Jonathan back with the super chat. Thanks so much, Jonathan. Nerferton gifting 5 Airline Videos Live at membership. Thank you so much. Awesome support here today. And Jonathan back with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Already setting. Let's see. Getting there.
American 1504, right there, runway 25 red, line up and wait. That's 5067, hold short of runway 25 red, Juliet. What's up, 25 Juliet, star 5067.
So it looks like we kind of have a little bit of a coastal eddy coming in as well. Good old eddy.
American 1504, wind 21012, I have the doctor, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, runway 25 right, on Nighthawk.
Come back over here, CRJ 200, landing here on the south side, United Express SkyWest. This is pretty much everybody's. Y'all vote for this as the worst airline aircraft ever made, right? Coming in from Prescott, Arizona, home of Whiskey Row.
That's 5067 cross, and the people that are loading up on this stuff.
It's American Airlines Flight 1504 heading to Dallas Fort Worth, Texas in a 737-800.
390, taxi to ramp, monitor ground point 75. Select the 390, monitor ground point 75, taxi to the ramp.
All right, the Lufthansa A340-300 heading up to the north side. I was on one of those CRJ 200s one time from Phoenix to Vegas. A very short flight. It was Mesa, America West Express. Never again. One time, that's all it took. One time was enough. Jeez, TPV 903 says Prescott to LAX used to be a Beach 1900. That is a long ride at a Beach 1900. Oof. Next takeoff here on the south side of Spirit Airlines Flight 1228 heading to Dallas Fort Worth, Texas in an A320 Neo. Also have an Air France 777 at 300ER heading up for north side at takeoff on 24 left. Wait, no, says tell us more about the Mesa flight. Well, I didn't book it. It was when I was working for ABC 15 KNXV there in Phoenix. We went up to Vegas just for like a couple of hours. And honestly, I can't even remember what the story was. I remember the reporter I was with was Christina Estes. But I honestly can't remember what the story was in Vegas. I think it was 2003. I remember that year because before that flight from Fox on that 737-800, I've told you the story about I was on that charter 737-800. It was Miami Air. It was chartered. It was rebranded as Jackpot Air. If you guys remember that show on Fox, Jackpot Airlines, LA to Vegas, I think was the name of the show. Anyway, that was the last time I was in Vegas outside of the airport. It was that, and I think that was 2017.
Spirit 28, I don't think it'll fall a bit.
Vegas, I know a lot of you guys live in Vegas. Vegas, the Strip Vegas, was never really my thing. I never really enjoyed going to Vegas, so I was going there a lot in the early 2000s from Phoenix, but I was just going there with friends. I really never really enjoyed it. I remember my friends took me to a B-52s concert. I don't like the B-52s. I really don't. I'm sorry if I'm offending any of you guys, but I don't like the B-52s. And I had to go to a B-52s concert there in Vegas, and I was not having it. Not having it at all.
American 91, Hotel Juliet, and a Juliet, hold short, number 25 right. Hotel Juliet, short of 25 right, American 891. FedEx 13, have you ready for left or right? Left or right? Alright, FedEx.
We do have a FedEx Flight 1379 heading to San Diego.
Number 25 right.
767-300 freighter. Going to be taking off soon here on the south side. I know. I knew when I said that I was going to offend a lot of you guys. I never liked the B-52s. Sorry. No. Rock Lobster. No. Love Shack. No. We're doing that FedEx 767 crossing over, 25 at the left. We'll have a departure on the 25 right coming up. Sun has officially set, so we should be going into some nighttime plane spotting action here. If you guys have any up, make sure to hit that like button if you're liking today's stream. This is a pop-up stream. I don't know why I never got into the B-52s. I don't know.
25 right of Foxtrot, 7 takeoff. 7 takeoff, 25 right of Foxtrot, 1379.
All right, we've got the FedEx flight heading to San Diego. Going to be taking off on Foxtrot.
2092 at the tower, wind 22013, number 25 left to the left. 25 left, clear line, 182.
yesterday, that very classy city. If you guys missed yesterday's broadcast, you can go back and rewatch it after we're done here today. All right, the Lufthansa A340-300 rolling down to 24 left there on the north side.
Great, 2930 over there, 25 left to the land. To the land, 25 left to the 2930.
Coastal Eddy.
Go to the 230 on that 25 right over takeoff. Go to the 424, 25 right on the boy.
Next takeoff here on the south side is United Express SkyWest. It's like 5230 heading to Boise, Idaho in the E175. Followed by American Eagle SkyWest flight 6424 heading to Portland on a CRJ 700ER. We also have Alaska Airlines flight 1093 heading to Seattle, a 737-800, number 3 for takeoff.
Ready to hold short of Hotel 5.
Hold short of Hotel 5, there's 21
LAX for 247, 25 left to the line.
What's on? Good old disco lane. I don't have the disco lane animation with me here today. Do have a Latam Airlines flight 2476 coming from Lima, Peru, a 767-300ER, number 2 for arrival here on the south side. American Eagle SkyWest CRJ heading to Portland, up next for takeoff.
247, roll to Hotel Minus.
G-Wings becoming a silver member once again. Thank you so much, G-Wings. Christian becoming a silver member once again. Thank you so much, Christian.
Hotel 7 Hotel.
That Alaska 737 up next for takeoff.
City 415, wind 22010, over 25 right for the takeoff. Airline 28, move up, right turn Hotel 5 here, hold short on the 25 right.
Hold short 25 right at Hotel 5 right, that's 21
American 930 at Juliet, hold short 25 right. At Juliet, hold short 25 right, that's 2130.
The doors are open on the Delta hangar. We don't see that too often. Got no planes in there, though.
American 2930 at Juliet, cross 25 right, 0.75.
At Juliet, cross 25 right, over ground 0.75.
Next arrival here on the south side.
2882 at Hotel 5, cross 25 right, 0.75.
At Hotel 5, cross 25 right, and cross 25 right, 21
Yeah, you put the 25 right, 0.75.
I gotta tell you, there is an A330. You can see the tail of it. It's sitting over there. That is on the other side of Sepulveda, by the way. That is not Atlantic Aviation. It's sitting at Signature, and it is right up against Sepulveda, up on the hill. So if you're driving down Sepulveda, you can get a really good look at the A330 sitting over there at Signature.
Land through 247 interruption, Hotel Niner, Lima, cross 25, Verda. Hotel Niner, Lima, runway 255, land through 247 interruption, cross 25, Verda, Lima, contact ground point 75. Runway 200, right via Lima, ground point 5, number 247, heavy. Left 13 down the tower, wind 22013 on the 25 left, clear 29.
Awesome, Delta Airlines Flight 564 coming in from Reagan National, an old TWA 757 at 200. Next arrival here on the south side is Latam, I believe heads to Tom Bradley on the north side. More than likely we'll be heading, I don't want to say it too early, heading down a Disco Lane. Go on, Disco Lane. No, chicken. Where's that rubber chicken? Making that turn, we'll head to the north side. Taxiway. Hoppa. Well, that coastal landing really came in strong. Here I thought we were going to have an awesome sunset. Thanks, Eddie. You always know how to destroy a party, don't you?
Here, 1578, head to LA Tower, on the 25 left, clear 29.
It's that old TWA 757 with Delta. Again, this flight coming in from Reagan National. I believe this is the only 757 you'll see at Reagan National is the flight here to LAX. Let's go to the north side. We do have a North Streamliner about to touch down at 25 right. Was ever printing out a receipt from CBS? Your receipt is now ready.
Left at Airline Hotel Julia, cross 25 right. See where the Delta Bravo, contact ground point 75.
Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, give way to Delta, over to ground Alaska 1339.
Also an Alaska 737 that just touched down here on the south side. So the 757 will head up there to the north side, either Terminal 2 or 3. Again, the flight coming in from Reagan National. It's an old TWA bird delivered to them in May of 1999.
City 585, LA Hotel, 25 right, line up away.
Should be seeing SAS. Well, they're still packing things up there with SAS. I'm going to say it should be pushing back here fairly shortly. Our next takeoff is United Express, operated by SkyWest, flight 5585, headed to Salt Lake City. And the E-Jets do have a arrival heavy. United Heavy coming in from Newark, 777-200ER. United Airlines flight 1578. Next arrival here on the south side, the 25 left.
City 585 on that Dodger, 25 right for the takeoff. 25 right for the takeoff, 5585 on yourself.
I'm wrong. RD Dave 2000 says United flies the 757 between the Reagan National and Denver. I never saw that flight when I was at Reagan National.
Yeah, 1570 Heavy Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, 0.75. Actually, yep, 2 Juliet, cross 25 right, 0.75, yeah.
Well, the lights are coming on at the airports. Hope you guys are enjoying today's pop-up stream. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe. And as always, make sure your notifications are all up to date, because I did not send out any social media updates. So this is a pop-up stream here today. Even Plane Jockey Rudy has no idea we're live. Next takeoff here on the south side, United Express, SkyWest, flight 5345, heading to Palm Springs on an E175. Let me check my camera here real quick. Hello, everyone. I'm your Plane Jockey Kevin here at Imperial Hill here on this Wednesday evening. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Sit back, relax. We've got you covered as we head into some nighttime plane spotting action. It is the nighttime camera, though we do not have the Nighthawk graphics here tonight. So I don't have the whole deal for you here tonight, but this is really just a kind of a test stream to kind of make sure that we're okay as we take Ed up to SFO next week. He was acting up just slightly yesterday. We were having some stuttering issues. The manufacturer wants to blame the Panasonic camera. I said, no, I think it's your update. And Matt, I know it's your update. Don't blame my camera. So until we get a fix from the manufacturer, I said I gotta go out there. We gotta retest everything using the Sony camera at 60 frames a second. So this is kind of a test. Thanks you guys for tuning in. We're having a good time plane spotting here. Of course, we'll take any plane spotting action at night from Imperial Hill. coming in from Paris, flight 311, heading into Westgates.
Sky was 5345, contact looking at policies here. Have a go. 5345.
Next takeoff here on the south side, United Airlines flight 2109 heading to Denver. It's an A321neo, brand new, just delivered in March. You have United 777-200 coming from Honolulu, flight 1157. Be the next arrival on the north side, 24 right.
Directory on that Docker, with 25 right of Fox, for the playback.
Get 25 right on that Docker, registered.
At 2240, thank you, to host at Juliet, hold short, on 25 right.
At Juliet, hold short at 25 right, United 2240.
Putting on a show. Another United A321neo touching down here on the south side. Definitely getting the Halloween vibes out here. I had that pumpkin coffee again this morning. I'm telling you, I smell pumpkin all day long. I went to Target today. I said, all right, here's the deal. Buy another bag of the pumpkin, but buy some regular Pete's too, so you can mix it up. Because you don't want to be smelling pumpkin every day. Then you get tired of it.
Juliet, contact ground 0.75.
All right, cross 25 right at Juliet, contact ground 175. 240.
Okay, directory, contact looking at policies here.
Well, Eddie. A321neo, United Airlines flight 2240 coming in from Denver.
Everybody park. Turn off at 7, left on Alpha, keep moving, traffic about 2 miles by.
Sure, we're holding up Alpha 7, Alpha, anticipate no that cloud layer is over 600.
All right, thank you.
Oh, that I was speaking of that Wednesday. I think it was late December, early January. There was that pop-up stream. If you guys remember, we were out here testing. We were out here testing Ed for the first time. If you guys remember, I was talking about it earlier. It was a night. It was a nighttime stream from here at an Imperial Hill. There was a lot going on. The guy ran out of Tom Bradley, ran across taxiway Kilo. Remember the cops got him. Remember all that happening, and then we had reverse ops. We had, we had 2 A380s taken off here all of a sudden here on the south side. One of the funniest moments of that night, outside of Later Tater announcing that he was extending his retirement, if you guys remember that, that happened as well. He had a little poem he read over the ATC, if you guys remember that. So there was a lot that happened that night. One of the funniest. I go back and sometimes I listen to this because I actually cut this for social media. That night, I think I was focused in on the A380 with British Airways. There was I think it was a 777 American pilot. I think he had either came from the south side, had to go to the north side, or he was on the north side going to the south side. Anyway, because of the taxiways being shut down at Lima and Kilo in front of us, they had to detour and go all the way around the airport. And I remember that pilot contacting the ATC controller and said, in my 35 years as a captain, boy, that sure was an interesting detour, whatever he said. And I remember the ATC controller at the time came back and said, "Thanks, I'm glad you enjoyed it." One of the funniest interactions. It may not sound funny, but if you go back and watch it, it was hilarious because you know what the pilot really wanted to say. This is pretty screwed up is really he wanted to say. But what a night that was. What a show to go back and watch.
FedEx 1650 heavy, pushing traffic on final out, plus 25 right now.
I always wondered, would you guys, if I took that show and we did a live broadcast re-airing a show like that, and everyone was in the chat, in a new chat, watching an old show, and it has to be a good show like that. Not every show, but just like a show like that. I don't know, would you guys be interested in us live streaming an older show with a new chat? I think it'd be kind of interesting. Have a couple of FedEx 767-300 freighters going to be taken off. FedEx Flight 1650 heading to Indianapolis. And FedEx Flight 1234 heading to Memphis, also a 767-300 freighter. I think it would be fun. Maybe we'll do that on some weeknight or something. It's just one of those shows you got to go back and watch, and there's nothing better than watching an older show with an audience, right? Oh, Eddie. Eddie's ruining our night here. This is that United 777 coming in from New York. Oh, Lyric the Game Boy says it was January 31st, 2024. Oh, thank you, Lyric the Game Boy. January 31st. The show didn't start off very well. There was a lot of technical issues because of Ed, but boy, it got better and better.
Hotel Juliet, Holster 25 right, American 2201. Possibly right about 1,000, spaces about 800. We could see the field at about 7 miles.
Alright, so Coastal Eddie causing some issues with some of the pilots as well. Yeah, Smoke Park Chop says yesterday's ending to the San Diego was epic. That was awesome. Alex putting in a sign in the window, the Airline Videos Live logo in his window. That was classic. The FedEx flight heading to Indianapolis.
American 2221, Julia, cross 25 by 0.75, yep. Cross 25 right at Julia, ground 4904, let's have traffic crossing 25 right on a board. 25 right, last one, that's 4904. FedEx 1234, ready for the left or right for that? Left. Alright, one more round to get you going. The heavy triple on the 3 mile final.
So should be seeing Swiss as well as SAS. Should be pushing back here shortly. Next takeoff is American Eagle SkyWest flight 4904 heading to SFO. It's an E-Jet. Still got that FedEx 767-300 freighter heading to Memphis, flight 1234. Also heading to the 25s. Also popping up, UPS flight 903 heading to Louisville, Kentucky, 767-300ER. Also will be taking off here shortly.
Hotel West 9, we're going to the west remote gate, Coast 4979.
Hotel, hold short Quebec, Max Sky 9790.
Hotel, hold short Quebec, Sky 9790.
You know the actual gates, west remotes?
402 Echo Sky.
And a friend there in Chicago, Linda Kavinsky, gifting 20 Airline Videos Live memberships. Thank you so much, Linda. Awesome support.
Sky 6304, Tower 25, right line up away.
And also a gifting of 5 Airline Videos Live memberships from EST to WST VYBZ. Thank you so much. Appreciate your awesome support there. Just had another United 777-200 coming in from Newark, flight 2238, just touching down here on the south side.
8661 tower, passenger zone 777, landed, heavy 7 people holding the park right to you, I'm with you 5 west of that.
It got dark quick, didn't it?
Yeah,
It just went from like sundown to darkness real quick.
What's that, General Shot 25, right? United States.
Sky 9790, hold short, I'm with you 5 at Quebec.
Hold short 25 right, Quebec.
No, they're not yet, Linda.
Middle row on that paper, I'm with you 5 west for takeoff.
I actually was going to go down into the office, kind of straighten things up a little bit, and of course I didn't get around to it. Hopefully tomorrow. I just noticed we can see inside. I think we've seen this before, but you can see inside the new modular extension of the West Gates. That's the newest terminal here at LAX. Should be opening up fairly soon. But with the lights on, you can see inside. This is the extension of the West Gates. Second UPS 767 heading to Memphis. Eddie giving us Halloween vibes here tonight. That United 777 coming in from Newark.
American 2037, only tower 25 right line up away. 5.25 right, American 2037.
Also, Sun Country Airlines flight 8661 coming in from Minneapolis, 737-800 just touching down here on the south side as well.
Sun Country 8660, where do you park today?
We are parking off the Runway 1.
American 2037, on up dock, 25 right for the takeoff. Pick up 5 right, on up dock for American 2037. Sun Country 8661, Hotel Juliet, hold short 25 right.
Hotel Juliet, hold short 25 right, Sun Country 8661.
Well, 1604, I'm going to park here.
Next takeoff on the south side, American Airlines Airlines Flight 2037 heading to Chicago here at A321, followed by United Airlines Flight 679 heading to Vegas on the 737 MAX 9. Should be seeing this SES A350 pushing back here any moment now. It tends to be a south side takeoff.
Heavy at Julia, cross 25 at 0.75. Juliet, Juliet, cross 25 right, 175,
They're going to allow this United 777 to now cross over 25 right. We'll head to Terminal 7 here on the south side.
American 3052, Hotel 6 to Juliet, keep moving, cross 25 right, contact ground 0.75, traffic holding in position.
Hotel 6, Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, 1933.
American 1012, would you verify runway 25 west to the left?
25 left, clear line, American 1012.
There's a Sun Country 737-800 also touching down here on the south side. All right, we got that UPS 767-300ER heading to Louisville, Kentucky. Now continuous taxi down to Alpha. EST to WSTVYBZ. Becoming a silver member once again. Appreciate that. And Kaylee won. Upgraded membership to gold here today. Thank you so much, Kaylee.
71 heavy, yellow tower, wind 23010, and 25 left to the left. To the left, 25 left, Delta 6.
Do you have a Delta Heavy? Delta Airlines Flight 771 coming in from JFK, 400 ER, just 4 minutes out. We'll be arriving here on the south side.
Yeah, 679, wind at 22010 on that docker, and we 25 right to the takeoff. On that docker, so the takeoff tonight is 679. UPS 9, good heavy here with 25 left, one up wake, traffic on a 7 mile final.
Wonderful, 85 left, UPS 9, just again.
Next takeoff is that your flight heading to Vegas. United Airlines Flight 679, a 737 MAX 9. UPS number 2.
The 77, let me say top to six, then you have still in flight, correct? I'm sorry, that's just, you want the top of the base, you want the door? And you have the field in sight, correct? There's no matter, we have the runway in sight, and we are clear for the base over 777 along 419. Thank you. American 1012, Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, 0.75. Hotel Juliet, cross 25 right, 0.75. Yeah, 679, contact over the top of here. UPS 903, heavy traffic on the 5 mile final on that paper, number 25 left for the takeoff. Final hyper, quick takeoff, runway 25 left.
Any action over there at the West Gates? I'm just talking to myself. Come on, heavies, push back. What's going on here? All right, looks like UPS 767-300ER heading to Louisville, rolling down at 25 at left. That is the closest runway to our cameras here. All right, we do that Delta 767-400ER coming up from JFK, flight 771. Next arrival here on the south side, which we now see Swiss. The 777-300ER, no tail light on, pushing back. That tends to be a south side takeoff. Coming in from Minneapolis, heading up to the northeast corner of the South Complex. All right, so that Swiss tail heading to the north will signal a south side takeoff as far as here on the south side.
77 Heavy Hotel Julia, cross 25 by 0.75.
You can see those wing walkers. The wing walkers at night. Favorite shots here at an Imperial Hill during nighttime plane spotting is all the action on Lima and Kilo. Let's head over there to the Delta 767-300ER, just touching down here on the south side. Swiss should be starting its engines. Looks like the number one engine already rocking and rolling. Now you're looking at Nighthawk. This is Nighthawk. We just don't have the Nighthawk graphics here tonight. Air China flight 769 coming in from Shenzhen at 777-300ER, just 12 minutes out. Looks like it's heading to the north side. Singapore flight 36 coming in from Singapore to A350-900, just 19 minutes out, also heading to the north side. Hello, Delta. All right, so Swiss will be heading here to the south side. Flight heading back to Zurich, flight 41. United Airlines flight 1680, a flight heading to Houston, Texas, 737-900ER. Next takeoff here on the south side. Also have Turkish, which tends to also take off here on the south side. Should be pushing back here shortly. It will be flight 10 heading back to Istanbul.
Roger, thanks.
SAS also popping up on the radar. We have a $10 super chat from Dustin Jackson. Thank you, Dustin. This is a great night. Plane spotting, Kevin. Thanks. Well, my pleasure. Thanks for your support there, Dustin.
1680 hotel on up down from 25 for the breakoff.
So SAS now with their lights on should be pushing back here just as soon as Swiss clears Kilo. Also have a DHL ABX Air Flight 403 heading to Cincinnati. A converted 767 to 300ER will be taking off here shortly here on the south side. All right, a Swiss makes that turn on to Bravo. SAS now pushing back. SAS tends to be also a south side takeoff.
South 700, top about south.
Thanks.
We got that United flight now rolling down.
2282 aircraft 25 left to the left.
Plan runway 25 left, United 2282.
Look at that, Eddie kind of loosening up a little bit. Thanks, Eddie. Again, this is SAS Flight 932. It's an A350-900, 5 years of age, heading back to Copenhagen.
2255 Hotel Juliet. Cross 25 right, contact 9.75, yep.
Hotel Juliet, cross.
With a tail to the north, will be another south side takeoff coming up. Such a cool shot there on taxiway Kilo.
Yeah, 1503 tower 25 on the Playboy for traffic up North Complex, traffic crossing downfield.
Right, line of police.
Sometimes when they have the lights on inside the cockpit, we can zoom in. Kind of dark in there right now. The Turkish 777 should be pushing back here shortly. That tends to be a south side takeoff as well. Our next takeoff here on the south side on 25 right is United Airlines flight 1503 heading to Vancouver, 737 MAX 8. Followed by American Airlines flight 2785, a flight heading to Vegas on an A321neo. Someone's printing up a receipt again. What'd you guys buy at CVS? Takeoff here on the south side, lined up on 25 at right. United Airlines flight 1503 heading to Vancouver. Elsa says, I just bought a pack of gum and I got a 4-foot receipt. Just about right.
Hotel Juliet, hold short, runway 25 right.
Hotel Juliet, hold short, 25 right, 282.
All right, we got that United flight 737 MAX 8 heading to Vancouver as SAS has now started its taxi down at Kilo.
American 2075, wind 2109, you're on that Docker, over 25 right for the takeoff. Square on 05, hotel over 25 right on a 48. 25 right, my call, it's 4905. Yeah, 1503, kind of circle the pause, that's it. Go to park here, 1503, yeah.
Eddie's kind of cleared out of here just slightly. All right, up next for takeoff, American Airlines flight 2785 heading to Vegas. It's an A321neo as SAS. Still waiting to make that turn on to Bravo. All right, SAS officially on that taxiway Bravo.
That's 84, wind 2107 on that Docker, and we're 25 right for the takeoff. Docker, switch our forward off heavy, over there, over 25 right on a 48. Runway 25 flight, stand up a break, low on Gulf heavy. Square on 05, come up over the park, that's it. That's your field, 10 places,
That flight taken off is American Eagle, SkyWest, flight 4905 heading to El Paso, Texas in an E-jet. Next takeoff, United Airlines Flight 684 heading to Seattle. It's 737 at max 9.
On that, this is Docker. Runway 25 right. Full takeoff.
Docker, runway 25 right, get to takeoff, please.
Tower wind 206, so 25 left, 32 left.
Alright, Swiss. I was going to talk about that. Qantas Dreamliner. Swiss. Flight 41. Heading back to Zurich. Now rolling down to 25 right. She was heavy.
Six 506 at Golf. Give way to Caravan. Then left on Golf, cross 25 right, 0.7 back.
Oscar with the super chat. Thank you so much, Oscar. Says hi from Sydney. Show that Qantas 787. What's the registration number? Let me see if I can zoom in. That close there, Oscar. We're also bringing in another Dreamliner. Snow E380 here tonight. All right, let's see. Here we go. Takeoff here on the south side. American Airlines Flight 1685 heading to Phoenix, Arizona. It's an A321 Neo.
American 58 top, LA Tower, wind 2006, 725 left to the left. 25 left, American 58 top. American 1675 LA Tower, 25 right, line up away.
They're taking that onto a disco lane. SAS number 2 for takeoff here on the south side, following that American A321 Neo flight heading to Phoenix. NC218 with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. This is Kevin. Thanks for the Nighthawk. Well, my pleasure. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Also up there, the Air New Zealand 777 300ER also being towed back to the gates as they slowly but surely start to prepare for the nighttime late evening departures.
25 left, clear to left.
Baby. All right, up next, American Airlines Flight 1675 heading to Phoenix, A321 Neo.
Schedule 932, roger.
I'm going to bring that Qantas Dreamliner into one of those gates. A Tom Bradley sitting in between those two A380 aircraft.
25 right, for the takeoff. 932 heavy, over 25 right, line up the way.
25 right, by the way.
Well, we are printing out the receipts here tonight. Geraldo with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Says our friend Jazzy is about to arrive at London Heathrow at American Airlines Flight 135. Let's give her a warm LA welcome. That is number 3 for arrival here on the south side.
American 852, George Hotel, westbound, hold short of Quebec.
Hotel short of Quebec,
American 135, heavy area 10, level 25, left to the left.
American 135, left to the left, left market 153.
Scandinavia 932, heavy on up Doctor, level 25, right to the takeoff. American 6035, contact over the ball,
Well, Eddie is officially cleared out for the most part. Singapore coming in from Singapore, the A350-900 arriving there on the north side. We got SAS. SAS flight 932 heading back to Copenhagen, A350-900. Next takeoff here on the south side at 25 right.
American 58 top, Hotel 6 Hotel. Hotel 6 Hotel, man, 58 top. 2122 at Quebec, cross 25 right, 0.75. Contact now, 0.75. American 58 Papa, Juliet, cross 25 right, contact, grab, 0.75 hit. Juliet, cross 25 right, ground, 0.75, that's 58 Papa, 4. See you, Scandinavia 932 heavy, contact over the ball, we'll see you.
Air Lingus popping up on the radar. I think that's back over there at Westgate. Oh, that's right. She's sitting over there. That tends to be a north side at takeoff, so I don't know if we'll see. I don't know if we'll be lucky with Shamrock here tonight. Air China 777 at 300ER heading here to the south side. Flight coming in from Shenzhen, flight 769. It's a 14-year-old 777 at 300ER. Next arrival is American Airlines flight 135 coming in from London Heathrow, the 777 at 300ER.
Hotel Juliet, 30 cross 25 right over the ground, 2331 tonight.
Let's head to the 777 short funnel for 25 left. Is it Josie? Jazzy?
At 2065, Airtel 25 left to left. 101 Airtel 25 left to left.
Alright, welcome back to LA. We'll pick up that shot. Let's go back to the Air China. Might be making a left-hand turn onto Disco Lane. No, bypass. Nobody wants to go down the Disco Lane here tonight. It's really okay. It's a lot of fun. Looks like Air China heading to the southeast corner of Tom Bradley.
Hotel Niner, Lima, cross 25 right, contact ground point 7 back.
Hotel Lima, clear cross 25 right, ground on the other side, American 135.
777 to 300 ER coming in from London Heathrow. Philippine Airlines Flight 102 committed from Manila, 777 to 300 ER. Just 2 minutes out will be a north side arrival. Got Air China heading into the gates on the southeast corner of Tom Bradley. Next takeoff here on the south side is Spirit Airlines Flight 3011 heading to Vegas on an A320 Neo.
Alright, Hotel 7 Juliet, Don Juliet, cross 25 right, and over to ground. Have a good rest evening, United 2065.
Head to the north side of Philippine at 777, now short funnel for 24 right.
Frequency, let's go to 39 north south.
So United 757 just touching down here on the south side. $757-300 flight coming in from Dallas, flight 2065. Jesus with the super chat. Good to see you, Jesus. It's an amazing show, Kevin. It's spectacular perspective to see the planes at night from Imperial Hill. One of my favorite spots for plane spotting. Of course, we'll be back out here for Halloween. We'll try to throw in a few more nighttime plane spotting shows from here at an Imperial Hill, as it will only start getting darker even sooner. With the super chat, thanks so much, Oscar. Says M16, live on Central Coast near Sydney. Have 3 brothers, 1 younger, 15, and 2 older, 19 years of age. Twins in Berlin. Have a dog, Batchy. And I'm in the planes. Can you show those Qantas planes again? Can you show the Qantas AGI? Well, you got a big family there. Yeah, we'll head back to the Qantas here in just one moment.
Spirit 3011, contact for the park, we'll see it.
Okay, on the park, runway 3011, that's very well.
wants to see this Dreamliner sitting over there at the west gates. Next takeoff is Alaska SkyWest Flight 3394 heading to Boise, Idaho. It's an E-jet.
No A380 Super here tonight.
Next takeoff, Alaska Airlines Flight 1280 heading to Spokane, Washington at 737-900ER. Oscar back with the Super Chat. Thank you so much, Oscar. Says, I want to have a gap year and come to LAX. I love staying in Sydney, CBD with my family. What's only, what, a 16-hour flight? No big whoop. All right, Oscar, come out with your family and come out in Plane Spot. We've got lots of Qantas action here. Jonathan back with the Super Chat. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Cal 5505 Hotel, I'm 25 Red Line for it.
We got that Alaska 737-900ER heading to Spokane. Followed by American Eagle SkyWest Flight 6505 heading to Denver. It's a CRJ. Also the French B now pushing back. It tends to be a north side of takeoff.
Sky 3439 Hotel, I'm 25 left, clear to left. 25 left, 39, Sky 6439. Cal 5505, what up, Doc? 25 left, for the takeoff. Cal 56 Hotel, 25 right, line up away.
French B, why do you always have to be a north side at takeoff? Jump on camera here. I haven't been on camera here in a while. Hello everyone, I'm your Plane Jockey Kevin here at Imperial Hill for this little pop-up stream. We're coming up just over 3 hours here today. We'll stay on just a little bit longer, so if you're staying up, I promise I won't keep you up too late here tonight. Our next broadcast will be high atop the H Hotel, looking at the weather. Now today it got extremely hot again. Now if the weather all of a sudden gets hot again, we're going to have to rearrange what we do on Friday. But for right now, it should be Friday 11 a.m. Pacific, high atop the H Hotel. If it gets hot again, then we're going to change it up a little bit. So stay tuned into the channel. And then, of course, we'll be back here for the Big Sunday show starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. Rudy will be back with me right at this exact same location. I know it looks a little different at night. So we'll be back on Friday and Sunday. And then next week, we take it up to SFO on Wednesday and Thursday. That's back-to-back shows, Wednesday and Thursday. Back up at SFO next week. We will be back for the Big Sunday show next Sunday as well. As we continue on here, lots of action. It's the Philippine at 777 at 300ER. Arriving from Manila, there on the north side.
Ready for 25 left, go right to that. Tower 5066, contact over the park, clear. Tower 3619, that's the Hotel Juliet.
Hotel Juliet.
French B should be heading up to 24 left for a takeoff.
Okay. Number 94, Romeo, Tiger, to left or right to left?
Next takeoff, Alaska Horizon, flight 2162, heading to Redmond into Nietzsche.
3619, taxi Hotel Juliet at Juliet, cross 25 right.
Hotel Juliet at Juliet, cross 25 right, Skyler 5619.
Skyler 3416 at Juliet, cross 25 right, 175. At Juliet, cross 25 right, 175. American 168, always had 25 left to the left.
25 left to the line.
That is Southwest Airlines coming in from Chicago Midway. Flight 3416 on the 737-800. All right, Turkish pushing back. Uh-oh. Turkish looks like it's heading up to the north side with that tail pointing toward us here on the south. It's Philippine, the 777.
Board Romeo, traffic on a 6-mile final, number 25, left on a blade.
In front of Turkish.
628 over tower, you're following
Kind of a standoff between those two 777s there on Kilo.
Tower 5439, take the harbor entrance, taxi Hotel, eastbound, hold for the dock.
Southern Hotel, eastbound, hold for the dock, Skyler 6439.
Hey, Hotel 405. Station 4 Romeo on that paper, number 25 left, quick takeoff.
Turkish making that right-hand turn on to Lima. Should head up there to the north side unless it makes a left-hand turn onto taxiway Delta. That's the only chance that we're going to see that 777 head here to the south side. Sometimes it does happen, so it's not out of the possibilities. Slide Chop Central. This is the Nighthawk camera. This is the Sony camera that we use for Nighthawk. It may not have the Nighthawk graphics here tonight, but this is the camera that we use for Nighthawk.
American 20 on the dock, 25 left of takeoff. Station 4 Romeo, contact take the park, we'll see it.
Park your seat at that Romeo.
We do have the A380 British Airways flight 268 heading back to London Heathrow.
Skyler 5439, left off. Crossing the 25 right, contact 9.75.
And off 25 right, over to ground, Skyler 6439.
Horizon 2228, contact over the park, we'll see it.
All the lights on inside the cabin of the A380 Super. Good night, Mike. I hope you have a better day tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your support as well.
Wind 1906. On that docker, number 25 right. Put the takeoff.
All right, so Turkish did indeed head up to to the north side. French B should also head up to the north side. Aer Lingus still sitting at the gates, at the west gates, has not moved yet.
968 Hotel Juliet, hold short 25 right.
Juliet, hold short 25 right, American 968.
Cal 64, I know, Hotel 25 left to the left.
And if you guys haven't yet, make sure to hit that like button if you're liking tonight's pop-up live stream here, little nighttime action here on AVL.
Second 968 Juliet, cross 25 right, 175.
25 right, Juliet, 175.
Looks like they are also pushing back on the Panda Airways. That Dreamliner will be heading back to Tokyo Haneda, I believe, or that might be a later. I think that is a later departure. Also see French B marching up there to 24 left there in the distance.
20, 23, Hotel 25 left, 32 left.
We do have a Southern Airways Express Flight 807 heading to Imperial's Cessna Grand Caravan EX. Looks like it's all black or dark navy blue Surf Air Caravan. Be marching over there to 25 right. Turkish lining up on the north side and 24 left will be followed by French B.
Yeah, it's 40, 50 dollars, 25 left to the left.
Our action here on the south side is going to come to a standstill. That tends to happen the later we get into the night. It really starts picking up around the 11 midnight hour. It's kind of hit and miss between the hours of 6 and 9 here on the south side. But I will say this, I think it's actually been not too bad. We've seen a lot of heavy action takeoff and landings here on the south side. Bad at all as they tow away the ANA Dreamliner. Turkish taking off there on the north side.
Tower go for 1584, we're on the visual, 25 left.
1584, 25 left to the left.
25 left for land, all the 1584.
Uh-oh, they decided to make a right-hand turn out there on Lima. Getting stuck behind that Philippine 777 at 300ER that is trying to head into the West Gates.
Got 5499 Golf. Got 5499 at Golf, cross 25 right, contact ground, 0.75.
Golf,
French B is the next takeoff there on the north side. French B, flight 731, heading to Paris Orly, and then A350 900. No takeoff action here on the south side, unfortunately. We also, British Airways should be starting its taxi here shortly. Still sitting there on taxiway Kilo. It's also a Virgin Atlantic Dreamliner heading back to London Heathrow, flight 142, number 2 for takeoff there on the north side. Speedbird, the A380 Super, now continuing its taxi up there to the north side. Will take off on 24 left. As French B now is rolling down at 24 left. Doing that Southern Airways Express heading to Imperial, the Cessna Grand Caravan EX, flight 807. Heading down the 25 and right. We still have that DHL ABX Air, flight 403, heading to Cincinnati, the converted 767 to 300ER. Should be starting its taxi here shortly. Oh, there's Rudy. Rudy's in the chat. What's going on, Rudy? You didn't know I was live earlier, did you, Rudy? All right, we got Virgin, the Dreamliner, now rolling down at 24 left. All full. My gosh, they're all heavy. I've lost it. I don't even see it. There it is. Heavy. All right, British Airways A380 Super about to make that right-hand turn onto taxiway Kilo. Still waiting on that Caravan here on the south side. Also Virgin Atlantic flight 23 coming in from London Heathrow 787-9 to Dreamliner number 2 for arrival here on the south side. Alright, British Airways making that right-hand turn on to taxiway Echo. There on the north side, we'll head to 24 left. Let's go back over here to taxiway Lima. So it looks like ANA still being towed over to the remote gates to bring it back in the LL Dreamliner back to the gates as well.
Good evening, good to keep it. So out of 25 left, 7.
This park is very busy. The weirdest thing just happened. Like this film crew, like a film crew, like they were shooting a movie, just came by, set up for like one shot to my right. There was about 20 people all in this crew. I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to be on candid camera? Is this an expose? This is 2020 showing up. Apparently they got one shot and now they all left.
Delta 500 exit here, Hotel 7, then taxi Hotel Juliet.
Hotel 7, Hotel Juliet, Delta 500.
Delta 500 at Juliet, crossing 25 right and contact down on point 75.
At Juliet, cross 25 right and over to ground point 65 on the other side, Delta 500. Is that friendly going to Hawaii?
Point 75.
Point 75.
And Delta 500, what was your question?
The friendly aircraft called ready. Are they going to Hawaii?
I didn't have no idea what they were shooting. They were shooting a nighttime scene of the airport. I don't know if I was a part of it or not. I was trying not to look. You know, it's Hollywood. You know, it happens. Well, it used to. It doesn't. I say that now. Hollywood's not what it used to be, but you'd be walking down the street and they'd be filming something. You try to act like it's no big deal. Nowadays, you see them filming something, and you're like, "Who are you?" Delta flight coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. It's a 757 to 200. Delta Airlines flight 500. Virgin Atlantic, the Dreamliner up next for arrival here on the south side.
ABX 403 heavy taxi up 2 and hold short of runway 25 left.
We got that ABX 767 going to be taking off here shortly.
ABX 403 heavy traffic 5 mile final. Be ready to go. Runway 25 left. Line of blank.
25 at left for the converted 767.
That was 4087
That is the closest runway to our cameras and the microphones. British Airways flight 268 heading back to London Heathrow. The A380 Super lining up on the north side.
LA Tower for 1662, left, 25 left.
Surgeon 23 extra heavy, exit right, Hotel 7, this next one coming up.
Hotel 7, Virgin to direction.
Surgeon 1662, like that, 25 left,
5 left, good land,
ABX 403 heavy, wind 220 at 11.
Virgin now exiting off 25 left will now allow that DHL.
Virgin 23 extra heavy at Juliet, approximately 25 right and contact on point 75.
Okay, Juliet cross 25 right and 0.75 another 5, Virgin to direction.
Cruise confirmation 3 at now current LA altimeter 29995.
Alright, Speedbird lined up there on the north side, and then I think we're probably going to end the stream here tonight. It's getting late for you guys on the East Coast. And Kevin needs to go get some dinner.
And hold short, I can make 25.
So last call for the like button if you guys haven't yet. If you like this stream, make sure to feed the beasts and feed Kevin as well. Alright, A380 Super now rolling down to 4 left there on the north side.
Exiting hotel short of 25 left, right now. Juliet, cover 40. 2004, 2 out of GC, 25 left.
That's the 2004 Lake Tower with 22011, runway 25 left, clear to land.
25 left, clear to land, 2004.
Flight Eddie really cleared out. Look at that.
Juliet, cross 25 right, contact ground on the other side, cover 4087.
It's like Virgin heading up to the north side of Tom Bradley. FedEx 767-300 freighter going to be taken off on more than likely 25 left here in a matter of moments, so we'll stay for that. FedEx flight 1100 heading to Fort Worth there in Texas. Avenir 0293 with the $5 super chat. Thanks so much, Avenir. Says the Qantas Super Brew is missing. You are right. I think there's one A380 Super I see outside of the Qantas hangar, and that's it. No A380 Super for tonight's flight 12 back to Sydney. Oscar back with the super chat. Thanks so much, Oscar. Says will you stream in Sydney when? December is a great time to come. Great weather and warm 2025, December 2026. Unfortunately, Oscar, Sydney is not on my short list. We have a lot of airports to cover here in the United States. But I know Rudy wants to go. Isn't that right, Rudy? And Oscar back with another super chat. Thanks so much, Oscar. Says, when I come to Sydney, I'll host you with Sid Squad staying in a hotel. Well, thank you. Like I said, Rudy would love to go to Sydney. We thank you for the offer. We got a lot of people say, Kevin, will you go to Sydney? Will you go to Sydney? Kevin, will you go here? Kevin, will you go there? Kevin, do this, do that, do this. Like I said, we have a lot of great airports here in the U.S. Are we doing that FedEx 767 going to be taking off here shortly? Oh, looks like Airline is the phone. Aer Lingus heading to the south side. Well, you know where the party is, isn't it? Shamrock. All right, we'll hold for Shamrock. Don't go to bed just yet. We're in luck here tonight. Shamrock heading to the south side. You can hear those vacuum cleaners heading our way here to the south side. So we got that FedEx 767 going to be taking off on 25 right here shortly, heading to Fort Worth there in Texas. And Aer Lingus, look at the Shamrock heading here to the south side, heading back to Dublin to this A330-300.
Holding short 25 right, Delta 2004.
We'll pull away from that, head to FedEx, now rolling down to 25 right, heading to Fort Worth, Hard 8, barbecue.
Delta 2004 and Juliet, crossing 25 right, and contact ground point 75, trying to pass the heavy.
Juliet, cross 25 right, ground 75, 2004.
Shamrock wasted no time there on taxiway Bravo, heading down to 25 right. Already loading up that Qantas Dreamliner. This flight will be Flight 12 heading back to Sydney, Australia. Next takeoff here on the south side is American Airlines Flight 297 heading to Honolulu. It's an A321neo. Followed by United Express SkyWest Flight 5398 heading to Monterey. It's an E175. It'll be followed by that Aer Lingus A330-300. Jonathan back with the super chat. Thank you so much, Jonathan.
Nothing
from way 25 right, American.
American 302, LA Tower, wind 210.
China Airlines Flight 8 coming in from Taipei at 777 at 300 yards, 7 minutes out, north side of Bravo, followed by the passenger China Southern Airlines Flight 327 coming in from Guangzhou. At 777 at 300 yards, just 9 minutes out. The aircraft running about an hour late.
So 5398, LA Tower, 25 right, line of point.
So that is the West Gates, the newest terminal here at LAX. Of course, they've got the extension. Should be almost ready to go. Should be any time now. I expect this in the next month or so for the extension of the West Gates to officially open. Haven't seen any press release yet from LAX. Of course, they're going to be starting to tear down, close down at Terminal 5, which is a good question because we're going to New York on JetBlue mid-October. And the question is, are we going to be out of Terminal 5 or are we going to be out of Terminal 1? This JetBlue will be moving to Terminal 1 temporarily as they rebuild Terminal 5.
Wind 200 at Niners, West 17 on a saucer on the 25 right for the takeoff. Shamrock Dynamite, Yankee Heavy, LA Tower, 25 right, line of point.
Our next takeoff is United Express, Flight 5398, heading to Monterey. The United flight coming in from Chicago here, brand new A321neo, just delivered in August of this year. Really new. Adrian says Terminal 5 closure planned for November 1st. Thank you, Adrian.
United 2220, ATAC, Oscar Churchill, for the departing heavy Airbus, and we 25 right, line of point 0.
JetBlue and Spirit and some American flights are in Terminal 5. Of course, the real question is, will Spirit be around when the closure of Terminal 5 happens? Up next, Aer Lingus, Flight 68 heading to Dublin. It's an A330-300. This should be our last flight, last departure of this pop-up stream here today, as we're just under 4 hours of nighttime goodness for you guys here today.
Hold short, 25 right at Juliet.
Hold short, 25 right at Juliet, American 302.
All she road here tonight. Thanks you guys for tuning in for this pop-up stream here today. Just under 4 hours of nighttime plane spotting goodness here at LAX here at Imperial Hill. Can't thank you guys enough for popping in here today, and our awesome support as always. Thanks you guys so much. Also, shout out to our great mods for showing up here today unexpectedly. Thanks you guys, always doing a great job. And we'll be back high atop the Edge Hotel at this point, starting at 11 a.m. on Friday. If the weather changes and it gets a little too hot, like it did today, we might change it just a little bit, so stay tuned. But we should be back on Friday, high atop the Edge Hotel for you here at LAX. We'll be back here on Sunday for the big Sunday show, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific. We'll be right here. Rudy will be here. Hopefully you will be here as well. And of course, if you want continuous live coverage of 24/7 coverage of the LAX, head on over to our sister channel, Airline Videos Live Plus. That's here on YouTube. We've got two 24/7 live streams from high atop the H Hotel, giving you both the north side and the south side action, as this airport never sleeps. No curfew here. 24/7 coverage for you right here on Airline Videos Live. Thanks, you guys. Thank you again for your awesome support. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you back on Friday for more plane spotting action here on Airline Videos Live. If you haven't yet, make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, you guys. We'll see you on Friday. From all of us here at Airline, the video's live. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.